Hi everybody, today we're going to make some bhuna. So it's Nishat's first time cooking, so I'm going to show her how to make bhuna. She's actually going to make it for the first time. So here we've got all the ingredients that we need. So we've got some onions, we've got one onion, because we don't need that many, as we are only cooking 5 eggs. We've got some salt, we're not going to put all of it in, we're going to put we're going to put it according to our taste. Some bay leaves and some cinnamon. We're going to put some cardamoms as well. And then we're going to use some of these spices, which will give you the measurements for once we get to it. We can add some cherry tomatoes, some green chilies and some garlic, some coriander, and of course going to cook it with some potatoes. Okay, so first, Nishat's going to add the onions to a pan with hot oil. And that's that is out. Okay. So now you have to wait till this is golden. So now, have you got a tablespoon? Yes. So now add like about half a tablespoon of salt. If we need more, we can always add more. What I always say when you add salt is always add less, because when there's less salt you can always add, but when there's too much you can never take away. Let's have a look. Yep, we can put some of that in, and then we'll put about another quarter of a spoon of salt in. Yep. Okay. And now we're going to add in the garlic and the green chilies. Yeah, so we're going to put that on top of the onions. So we're adding in 6 chilies and 2 whole garlics. Yep. Okay, so now Nishat is going to add some whole spices. So she's going to add 2 washed bay leaves, about half a cinnamon stick, but we've broken it up into little pieces. And now Nishat's also putting in 4 cardamoms. Okay, and now she's going to give it a stir to make sure the onions don't stick to the pan and burn. Now sometimes the onions do start to burn and they do tend to stick to the pan. If that does tend to happen, then you just add a little bit of cold water, and that usually softens the onions as well as stops it from burning. So now what we're going to do is give it a good stir so the salt goes into the onions and the whole spices can get nicely fried up. We're going to wait for the onions to turn golden brown and wait for them to soften. Now always make sure you put in the salt with the onions, as the salt helps to soften the onions. Once we see that the onions have started to get golden brown, and when they do get soft, that's when we're going to add the spices. Okay, so Nishat's given the onions a good stir. What we're going to do now is leave the onions on low heat. So we're going to lower the heat and let the onions soften before we add in the spices. Okay, so because we need to go out, we've decided to add in some cold water to the onions, because that will help speed up the process. It'll soften the onions quicker. So when you add cold water to hot oil, the oil starts to heat up faster. So Nishat's just going to add in the cold water now over the onions. You can hear that? Is that enough? A little bit more all around. And some on this side. As you can see how it bubbles, and that's what makes the onions get softer quicker. More. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the onions have softened. So what Nishat's going to do now is she's going to add some spices. So here we've got some turmeric, we've got some curry powder, we've got some jeera and dhania, and we've got some chili powder. For those wanting to know, dhania is coriander, And I can't remember what jeera is, sorry. So this is chili powder, turmeric and curry powder. So Nishat's going to add them now. So how much are you adding, Nishat?
So like, it depends. It depends. Sorry, it depends on how much onions you put in. So because we got only one onion in, we're gonna put like quarter of a spoonful.
Yeah, so what we wanted to let you guys know is when you add in the turmeric, always make sure you don't add too much because turmeric has a very strong buttery taste and a very strong buttery flavour. So Nishat is going to add just over half a spoon of turmeric, and then she's going to add a tablespoon of curry powder. And now she's getting a tablespoon of jeera. And a tablespoon of dhania. And now she's going for the chili powder. So Nishat has decided to add a teaspoon. So have I been saying tablespoon? I was meant to say teaspoon. Nishat is adding a teaspoon of chili powder.
And if you want it really spicy, you can add a lot of chili powder. But then if you add too much, it just gets bitter.
So with the spices, you always have to be careful how much spices you add according to the amount of onions that you have. Because if you have less onions and too much spices, then the taste won't be very nice. At this point, Nishat, what I tend to do is I add some cold water again after I've mixed the spices up together. And then I just feel like it helps the spices to cook.
Okay, got the cold water.
So I think we'll wait about another 20 seconds maybe before we add a drop of water.
I love cooking.
When the onions turn to get quite crispy, that's when I like to add the water because I want the onions soft. So now you can add some water. Okay, we accidentally added too much water, but that will be fine because we're going to add in some other ingredients to this as well. And also the heat is going to take up the water. So now, Nishat is going to add in some cherry tomatoes. How many cherry tomatoes are you adding, Nishat?
So I'm adding 8, but they're chopped up in half.
Okay, so 8 chopped tomatoes, so she's just chopped them in half. Again, what I tend to do is, I tend to add in the tomatoes after I've put in the spices. I feel like sometimes if you feel like you've added too much salt or too much spices, or in general if you just want that nice tangy taste to it, then you can always add tomatoes. It just takes that overpowering taste of spices. And then you can still have a spicy curry, but it just adds a very nice flavour that we all tend to like in this house. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're giving the tomatoes a good mix in the onions and the spices. And in about a minute, we are going to add in the boiled eggs, and then we're going to follow it with some chopped boiled potatoes. Let me show you guys the potatoes. Now we've chopped the potatoes. We couldn't decide if we wanted the skin on or off, so we did a mixture. We did a few potatoes without the skin and a few with the skin. I do like potatoes with the skin on, and apologies, but we are still in the process of chopping the potatoes. Okay, so now that the onions and the spices have cooked up, what Nishat is going to do is add in the boiled eggs. So some people tend to fry the boiled eggs before they put it into the spices, but we like it like this. Okay, so now Nishat is just mixing it up again. Make sure that the flavour goes into the eggs, and after she's given that a good stir, she's going to add a little bit of water to soften the onions off again, and that is to prevent it from burning. Okay, so Nishat is adding a drop of water around the edges of the pan, just to make sure that the onions don't burn. Not everyone does this, as some people do like the onions quite crispy. I prefer to add the water and have the onions quite soft. Okay, so we've added the amount of water that we needed. We're just going to keep stirring, and once that's ready, we're going to add in the potatoes. Okay, so now it looks like the flavour has gone into the eggs. So what Nishat's going to do now is add in the potatoes. What we like to do is boil the potatoes first. It's a little bit quicker. And I think making this dish is quite handy because sometimes when you finish work and you're too tired to cook up like a chicken curry or meat curry, you can just boil some eggs, chop up some onions, get the spices ready and make yourself an egg bhuna curry. And it's very quick to make. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And of course you've got the preparation as well. So what do you think, Nishat, of your first experience cooking?
I like it because it takes no longer than 20 minutes. Like, it might take just a bit over 20 minutes, but like it's really quick to make. And I like it because like when I come back from school, when there's like probably nothing to eat, I'll just, make it and, I'll enjoy it. And this recipe is actually really nice. When you have like a taste of it, it's like the best.
And do you think you'll be able to remember these steps?
Yeah, because it's really easy.
So do you find that it's quite simple to make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think one of the first things I actually made was an omelette, and the first proper curry I made was this, an egg curry. And my mum always said to me to start off with an egg curry. She said it's the easiest type of curry you can make, and once you get the grasp of making an egg curry, you can make chicken curry, you can make meat curry, because it's all very similar. It's just that the timing and the spices are a little different. So this is Nishat's egg curry, and I think it looks really good considering it's her first time as well. She's made it look absolutely delicious, and you can't tell that it's her first time to cook. But guys, honestly, this is Nishat's first time cooking. It's the first time she's made an egg curry or any type of curry, and I think she's done really well, and I think that looks delicious, and I can't wait to taste it. So Nishat, what should we eat this with?
Rice. Rice is the best way to eat like egg curry and everything. Egg bhuna curry.
So Nishat wants to eat this with some rice. So are you going to have it with some pilau rice, vegetable rice, or some plain rice?
I'm gonna have some plain rice because I tend to like that. It's like,
And in our house we've got a rice cooker, so because we eat rice a lot, being South Asian, one of our main staple diets is rice, so we do eat rice and curry almost every day. I mean, we do make different stuff as well, but we have to make rice and curry every day at home, so we keep a rice cooker. And it's very easy because you just get the rice, give it a wash, add the rice, add the water, and that's it. The rice cooker does the rest for you. Okay, so our curry is done. So in a minute, Nishat's going to turn off the heat, and then she's going to sprinkle the curry with some coriander. Oh, I need to check on my chicken. So I'll just be back in a moment. And I have put some chicken in the oven, and I had to come back out of there because it's very hot. And because we were making this video, I actually forgot to turn off the gas, and I just got splattered by some onions. So that's my chicken done, and I'll show you guys what I made earlier today whilst Nishat gives her eggs a good mix. So here I've got a meat and potato curry. I've sprinkled it with some coriander. That's my meat and potato curry. And here I've got some chicken with some papaya. Now we call this hoiful in our language. And this is a really nice dish, one of my favourites. And I made it quite spicy because I do like that taste. I like a nice spicy curry, and then the sweetness of the papaya with it as well goes very nicely. Okay guys, so Nishat has now turned off the heat as her curry is done because everything was pre-cooked, so the eggs and the potatoes were boiled, so you don't have to cook this in the spices for too long.
Guys, if you like my curry, make sure to comment, and if you guys have tried my recipe, then make sure you comment and tell me how it went. Thank you. Okay, so now for the curry, I'm gonna sprinkle some coriander because the coriander gives like a nice smell and it looks really good for design.
Yep, so what we tend to do is we turn off the heat when the curry is done, and then we sprinkle some coriander, and the coriander gives it a very lovely smell. I can't explain the smell, it's just so nice, it's so fresh, and it just gives you that smell of curry. So that is the final product. So Nishat's bhuna is done. So it's her first time cooking bhuna, or anything in fact, and she's done a very good job. I think it looks amazing and I can't wait to taste it. So let us know what you guys think of her curry.
Make sure you guys like, comment and share, and if you guys want to see another video, come back next week. Guys, because it's the first video, I'm going to give you a bad joke. So why did the egg have fun?
Why?
Because it went karaoke.
And guys, I wish you could see her face right now because she is laughing at her own joke. So thank you for watching our video, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.